Hey guys, Marc from marcscutwood.com here today showing you how to build this steampunk / industrial inspired chandelier with vintage Edison bulbs. Towards the end of this video it's going to get a little weird because I don't have a video of actually the end of the build because things went a little haywire, so all I've got is a couple pictures. So I'm going to try to make do with that and hopefully everything still makes sense. So let's get started. Alright, so the first thing you want to do is pick out the board that you want to use as your base, and what I went with here is just a piece of 2x8 pine. I had it lying in my scrap pile and I liked the grain pattern on it, so I went with this. What you want to do is sand it down, make it nice and smooth, kind of round over the edges a little bit, and next we're going to stain it. The stain that I used had a polyurethane mix into it, and this just gave it a little bit of a sheen and a gloss to it that a regular stain wouldn't. And once the stain is dry, you want to drill a couple random holes, and that's where the lights will be threaded through. So then next what you got to do is, for as many light bulbs as you're planning on having hanging from this thing, you need as many lamp sockets. And if you're like me, you don't like the brass color they came in, so what I did was dismantled everything, just pulled out all the housing off, and shot it with some metallic bronze spray paint. And for whatever reason, this left kind of like a two-tone color, and I kind of dug it, so I left it. This was just one coat of paint. And then you just reassemble everything. And these cardboard tubes that act as the insulator, for whatever reason, they were poking out a little bit. So I just took a Sharpie and kind of darkened them up, just so they kind of look like they belong there. And then the wire I use is just a basic 18 gauge electrical wire, nothing too fancy. So for the support system, I used 1/2-inch galvanized pipe for the base, and then that long down tube is actually just a ceiling fan down tube. The threads match up and everything, and this was way cheaper than cutting and sizing galvanized pipe to that length. And also, because it's actually meant for a ceiling fan, it's already got the holes and everything drilled in the very top for installation into a ceiling fan type box, which is what the chandelier is installing into. So I'd highly recommend going that route. And what I did here was just kind of paint it and set it all up. Alright, so now here's where it kind of gets confusing. This is my first big wiring project, and things went a little weird. So I don't have any video of this, but I'll take my cell phone and I'll kind of walk you through my process here in a second. But this is just kind of showing the layout that I had on the board with the flanges for the support and then the junction boxes in the middle. So hopefully what I'm about to say makes sense. Keep in mind I'm not an actual electrician or anything like that. I'm not licensed, so don't take my advice. But at the same time, this is what I did. So now that we got that out of the way, random lengths of wire, right, for the different height of the bulbs and stuff. And what you want to do is wire them up correctly to the sockets. Run those wires up through the board into a junction box. I've got 6 wires on each side because I've got 12 lights. I didn't want to overload anything. So 6 wires into each junction box. Each of those junction boxes are all spliced together into this one wire on each side, and that runs up inside. I drilled a little hole into the pipe. That runs up the pipe, meets in the middle here with the other side. That gets spliced together, and then that runs all the way up to where the ceiling gets power. So hopefully that makes sense. If you have any questions, leave a comment below, and I'll do my best to answer them. This was pretty difficult. This is my first electric job, so I'm sure this probably could have been done way cleaner, but it works, so whatever.